Hello, this is the second video about the wiper animation, and in the first one I showed some pre-preparations already, but I forgot one thing, and that is I added a new rotation or mounting part here to the wiper, and after I made a quick remapping everything, I didn't set the smoothing groups. So yes, before you continue, if you have edited something or added something or however changed something, do that. Select all polys and just check it here. You can clear all and then click 1 to assign smoothing group 1 to all polys. And I just wanted to mention that because I did forget it in the first video. Okay, now we will make the animation, and for that I need a few more bones. I will use one bone to rotate this mounting part only to ensure that it doesn't oscillate, and the wiper arm will be rotated with one bone, and I will use two bones for the blade to rotate that. So we need 3 more bones here. I clone the main bone here, and I always select copy here in such cases because I want to have an independent bone, and that shall be the one for the arm, so I call it MKIV arm. Yes, because it's not upright anymore, you have to select here local when you want to manipulate it, and I want to stretch it a little bit that it is accessible, and give it another color too. Yes, I use red. As you can see here, the bones are not exactly aligned to the wiper arm, so I will rotate them a little bit. When you want to rotate 2 bones, like in this case, and you want to have them rotate around the same pivot point that they have, you must select this option here that is called Use Pivot Point Center. As you can see, now it's there where the pivot point of both bones really is. When you use this, for example, then it uses the center of both, and that would not work properly here, so we have to use that option. And also here select local, and now we align it a bit better to the arm. Okay. Okay, then make another clone for the upper part of the blade. I call it blade up, and give it a green color. as I move it to the point around that, I want to let the both parts of the blade rotate later. Yeah, that should be okay here. Okay. So I also aligned that a little more to the blade. Now I clone it again for the lower part of the blade. Oh, I make it blue. And again, resize it a little bit. So now we should have all necessary bones. And we can start with a modifier. Just remove that for now. Okay, one thing is left, because I want to have these two bones being connected to this one, because I want them to move around when I move this bone to have it always at the proper position. So I connect them with this modifier here, select and link. Click that, then go to the first bone, blade up, click on it, hold the mouse, left click with the mouse and hold it and move it to the bone that you want to have it connected, and then release the mouse button and do the same thing with the other bone. Okay, now these two bones should go around when I rotate this one here. Okay, that is what I wanted to have it doing. Okay. Okay, then we select the wiper mesh and select the skin modifier here from the modifiers drop down. There's skin here. Then we add the bones, all bones that we will use for the animation. And then we click edit envelopes and vertices. And yes, you always see these so-called envelopes here, and I don't like it. For this kind of animation, it's better to not to see them, so I deactivate it in the rollout here in the display section. You can click, check the option show no envelopes, and they are gone. And I will activate the edged faces here, then I can better see where the vertices are. Okay, I will start with the main bone. It's selected already, and as said, I will only use these vertices around the mounting point for that bone. So I select all of them, and then in the rollout here in the abs point effect, absolute effect cell, I enter 1. 1 is the max value that you can use here. But because we want to have a little bit of weight to the base bone too, to get the animation working in the game properly later, we will now open the weight table here, and here we select selected vertices. Then we go to the first one, click in the field for the base bone. This is this one that has to be set at 0, 0, 0. Click into it and move it a little bit. Move the mouse a little bit, and then you can edit it and set it to 0.01. Then mark it and click copy. Go to the total bottom of the list, click and hold on the last one and move the mouse up and move a little bit left, right, until you are on the top, and select all other entries and then click paste. Now you can see all vertices have a little bit of weight to the base bone too. This procedure I will do with all bones and all vertices. And yes, you have not to click OK or something else here, just close that window. Okay, the next are the vertices for the arm. So that the arm bone is selected. And here I will select also the center vertices of the rubber part here that is hidden behind the bone, and this whole part here. That this all of this is connected to the bone. With that I will rotate the arm. Right here went, no, okay, to the arm, yes. So again set it to 1 for the absolute effect. And again open the weight table. As said, it's always the same procedure. Copy it again. And paste it. Now the vertices for the lower part bone. Okay. And the last one, the upper part of the wiper blade. Okay, all vertices should have their bone, and we can finish the edit envelopes. So click it again here to finish it. You can also remove the edged faces here, but we need our windows and the other parts again. Okay. Yeah, for the animation, as you can see, I use 22 frames. From my experience, that is the best count of frames, and I will use the frame 0, which is the position of the wiper when it's off, and the frames 0, 21 and 22 will be identical later, and also the frames 10 and 11, which are on the point where the wiper gets back to the off position, gets also 2 identical frames. And I do this whole editing with the auto key functionality here. That is, in my opinion, the easiest and best way to do it. Okay, to start it, I go to frame 10 here, and then I rotate the wiper with the main and the arm bone selected to the maximum position. That should be okay here. As you can see now, there have been keys generated here, this green part, and also for the base position here I get a key now. And now I will edit this whole section here, because this section after the position has changed here gets the same frames like here later, just mirrored. You will see what I mean when I do it. Okay, now we can hide that here, and as you can see at frame 11, the wiper at frame 10, the point where the direction changes here, the wiper is very far away from the window, so I will edit that at first, and for that I at first move the whole arm with the both, and the axis is the Z-axis in this case here. Okay, move it closer to the window, that the center is also not too close, because if you move it too close to it, it may stick through the glass later. That is also the reason why I use this window. This is the cockpit window, because I can see here when the wiper sticks through the glass, and so I can better see how the position has to be set here with the bones. And I have to move the upper part away a bit too. bit higher now, and the lower part a bit closer to the glass. Oh, it's a bit too close. Okay. Now you can see on the position 10 you don't see the wiper, and also on the rest position you don't see it, but between you see it. So now I take the frame in the middle, the frame 5, and move it here too in the same way. Again, the arm as first. And then the parts of the blade. It's okay. Okay, you can see that it doesn't stick through the glass on frame 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That's okay. But here we have to edit it again. Again, at first the arm. And then the parts of the blade. It's okay here. There it sticks a little bit through the glass. Here it seems okay, so we move it here a little bit too. Oh. Okay, that looks good so far. Okay, now I will select all the bones that I use for the animation, that are these 4 ones. And now we copy these keys to the other side. I start with the frame 0 that will be copied to the frames 21 and 22. To do that, click the left shift on the keyboard and hold it. Then click with the left mouse on the key and move it to the frame to that you want to have it. Then release it and click again and move it to the other. Now to the other frame. Now the frames 0, 21 and 22 have the exact same settings. As I said, I will do the same thing with frame 10 and 11, and then again click and hold left shift, click with the left mouse onto the key, move it to 11 and release everything. Okay, I do the same with frame 9. Frame 9 will be copied to frame 12 and frame 8 to frame 13 and frame 5 to frame 16. So now the wiper shouldn't stick through the glass on the whole animation. That looks good so far. And also here it looks okay, I would say. Yeah. You can deactivate the auto key now, and I hide the window and its frame, that only the bones and the wiper are visible. And yes, before I proceed, before you export the animation, move the slider to the first frame of the animation. Don't export it when the slider is here in the middle or somewhere else. Put it onto frame 0. Okay. Now we have the wiper that we have to export and the animation. And for the wiper mesh, it's the usual things that you have to do. Make your settings here, give it a load in, load out. You can deselect everything here. I never use it. And when you go a little bit more down, you see a field animation here in the mesh rollout 2. And we have to select the animation file here. And to have one, go to the animation rollout, and in the first cell, which is labeled with animation, put the path to the folder into that you want to have the animation file exported. Then give it a name here with the file extension, a complete name. And in the last cell, you have to always enter wiper.anm. No matter what name this is necessary to let the game know that this is a wiper animation. Okay, as said, in the mesh drop down here, select also the animation. Click Save, that it appears here, and then export the mesh to mesh. Okay. Now in the animation rollout, you have to select in the field animation type, selected nodes, and then as root node, click on the button here on the right of the field and select the wiper itself. Don't select the bone here, select the wiper. Okay, select it now, and then you can leave that interval 1. Start frame is 0 and stop frame in this case is 22. And now mark everything, all bones and the mesh, and then click Do Animation. When you get this, it was successful, as it is said here. Okay, now we try it out in the game. I have prepared a skip barber where you don't see the car, you only see the window and the wiper, just for testing it. And I use a cockpit window also here. Oops. That was my window mesh. Maybe I deleted it accidentally. Seems so. Okay. Okay, there we have it. And here it looks good. As you can see now here, that is the usual thing what happens. I've never was never able to get it working the same way as it works in 3DSMax. I have to adjust it a little bit more, as you can see, almost on the whole wiping area. You have to move the upper part of the blade a little bit more away from the glass, but the principle should be clear how it works. Yes, that it was. I hope it helps you a little bit.